Hello. Welcome to Down the Rabbit Hole, where we discuss paranormal activity, haunted history, weird history, just history in general, American folklore, urban legends, fun stuff to just talk about and just go down the rabbit hole because this is something that very much interests me. And I do admit a bit fixated on this kind of stuff, honestly. I do have one mini podcast, so you'll have to bear with me as I try to balance between all five of my podcasts. So please bear with me. If you're new here, hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Also, please subscribe. Um, right now we're at 47 subscribers, and I hope to get 100 subscribers by the end of the year. I've been working on this podcast on my channel for a while, so please work with me, guys. I do work two jobs, so I would love to be able to do this more often than I can. But anyway, as Halloween approaches, I thought I'd tell the story of something called "Tell You a Little Story." Say the least. Well, once upon a time, there was a man whose name was William, who lived in this old mansion that he inherited from his family. He was very proud of his house and the antiques that filled it, especially a beautiful antique mirror that hung in the living room. Now, one day, William had was getting ready to leave for a business trip and was getting himself in the mirror. He noticed his reflection looking differently. It had a sinister smile, and on his face, it had fol- it had followed William, but wherever he moved. Now, William was frightened by the sight, but he thought it was his imagination playing tricks on him. He went on this trip, and when he returned, the mirror was back to normal. So, this happened a few more times, and each time William became more and more scared of the mirror. He started to avoid the living room, and eventually he refused to enter the room altogether. So one night, William was home alone, and he heard a strange noise coming from the living room. He cautiously approached the door, peered inside, saw the mirror shaking and reflection of a ghost figure standing behind him. Now the ghostly figure stepped out of the mirror, grabbed him, pulled him inside, and he was trapped inside. And every time someone approached the mirror, they could see his frightened face staring back at him. Now people say that to this day, the mirror still traps unsuspecting visitors who dare to look it up, and they look into it, and they say the ghost of the Mirror Man still haunts the old mansion, waiting for his next victim. In years past, in the mansion was left abandoned and forgotten. People whispered rumors about the Mirror Man and that his terrible fate that befell to those who looked into the antique mirror. But one day, a young couple will move into the mansion, not knowing its dark history, and they were enamored with the old house and its antique fascinations and furnishings. But it wasn't long before they began experiencing strange and unsettling events. At first, it was just small things like objects moving on their own and doors opening and closing by themselves. But then, the couple stumbled upon the antique mirror in the living room, and there they were fascinated by its beauty and decided to hang it in their bedroom. That was when the terror began, and it was there they heard strange noises, to see the reflection of a ghostly figure in the window. The figure would whisper their names and reach out from them in the mirror, trying to pull them inside. The couple soon realized that the mirror was cursed and that the Mirror Man was the ghost of William, and he trapped inside all the mirror for all his eternity. And they tried to get rid of the mirror, but it seemed to have a life of its own and always found its way back to their room. Desperately, they reached out to a paranormal investigator who informed them the only way to break the break the curse was to free William from the mirror. They mustered up the courage to face the Mirror Man, and with the help of the investigator, they were able to free his spirit from the mirror. And the couple never experienced any strange occurrences after that, and the mansion was finally at peace. But the legend of the Mirror Man lives on, reminding people to be careful of the objects that they bring into their homes and the secrets they hold. However, the story did not end there, and years later a young and curious girl stumbled upon the abandoned mansion while exploring the woods. She was fascinated by the stories that she heard about the Mirror Man, and she couldn't resist the urge to see the cursed mirror herself. As she entered the living room, she found the antique mirror hanging on the wall, and she walked toward it, and her curiosity got the better of her, and she gazed into the mirror, and she saw a reflection of a ghostly figure standing behind her. It was the Mirror Man. He reached out to the mirror, trying to pull her in. She screamed and ran out of the mansion, but the Mirror Man followed her. Everywhere she went, she could feel his presence in whispers. The girl realized that the curse was not broken, and the Mirror Man was once again seeking new victims to trap in the mirror. She reached out to a paranormal investigator who had helped a previous couple, and they returned to the mansion to face the Mirror Man. With their bravery and determination, they were able to defeat the ghost and break the curse and for once and for all. And the mansion was finally free of the Mirror Man, and the girl was able to escape from his clutches. But she never forgot the terrifying experience and the lessons she learned from the dangers of meddling with the unknown. The story of the Mirror Man serves as a warning to us all who venture into the dark and unknown. Hmm. What do y'all think? Is there some truth to this urban legend? Um, I'm curious. I feel like the urban legend is something that that many people often don't realize, and everything. But yeah, that's it for this episode. I'll see y'all next time. Y'all enjoy spooky season, and I hope the story keeps